Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something really interesting, I think. A source that offers, well, maybe a unique way to find some inner peace in what feels like a very, very busy world.
We are. We're diving into Think Like a Monk, A Guide to Inner Peace by Jay Shetty.
Right, the book. And it's important to say this isn't just another self-help book, is it?
No, not really. It's more a distillation of ancient wisdom, but presented through a pretty modern lens, and the source itself is quite compelling.
Jay Shetty himself, you mean?
Exactly. He's known now as this British YouTuber motivational speaker,
Yeah.
but before all that, he actually spent years as a monk in India, in ashrams.
Right, a proper immersive
A
experience.
deep one. And what he's done here is try to translate those profound experiences into practical guidance for your life,
Yeah.
for everyday people.
Absolutely. And that's really our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? To figure out how we can actually adopt some of that monk mindset
Yeah, to become maybe better individuals, better partners, better leaders.
without having to, pack our bags and head to a monastery.
Precisely. Without leaving the world behind.
So if you've ever felt a bit overwhelmed or maybe just curious about how ancient wisdom can actually tackle modern problems,
Then this should be really relevant.
okay, let's unpack this then. So we all kind of know the headline, think like a monk, become better, without leaving the world. And that last part, without leaving the world, that's the really crucial bit we want to drill down into today, isn't it?
It really is, because it's not just a throwaway line. He structures the whole approach around making it accessible, integrating it into modern life.
Which immediately brings up a big question for most people, I imagine.
How can you possibly get that deep calm, that sense of purpose monks seem to have when you're dealing with, well, work, emails, family, just daily life?
The constant demands.
Exactly. And Shetty's answer is structured. He breaks it down into three key areas, three pillars.
Okay, so pillar number one,
It's all about letting go.
letting go.
Okay.
Okay, what does that really mean in this context?
Well, it's about shedding what doesn't serve you anymore. And it's deeper than just don't worry. It's about challenging why we try so hard to be what others expect.
So letting go of external validation.
Yes, letting go of fear, ego, jealousy, and definitely those constant comparisons we all fall into. They're so draining.
They really are.
And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. He puts a huge emphasis on detachment.
Detachment. That word can sometimes sound a bit cold, can't it? Like not caring.
It can,
Yeah.
but that's not how he frames it. It's not about running away or being aloof. It's about engaging with life fully, but without getting totally gripped by it.
Okay.
There's a great line in the source material. Detachment is not that you own nothing. Detachment is that nothing owns you.
Oh, I like that. Nothing owns you. That's powerful.
It's a fundamental shift in perspective, aiming for freedom within the chaos, not necessarily escaping it.
That whole idea, though, it feels so counterintuitive for many of us, doesn't it? Especially in our society that's so focused on achievement, on acquiring things.
Absolutely. We're constantly told, get more status, more stuff, more likes, and then you'll be happy.
Right. But this suggests the opposite. Letting go leads to happiness. How does he bridge that gap for people?
Well, he's careful to explain detachment isn't apathy. It's not about giving up your possessions or ambitions entirely.
Okay.
It's about not letting those external things define your inner state, not letting your peace depend on them. He argues that chasing external validation, it actually creates more insecurity, not less.
Because you always need the next hit, the next approval.
Exactly. So by loosening the grip of those desires, you actually free up mental and emotional energy. You find peace from the inside out. It's less about adding more and more about subtracting the noise.
Subtracting the noise. That makes a lot of sense. Shifting the power back to yourself. Okay, so once you start that process, which sounds like it could be challenging,
It often is, yes.
the next step is more active, building something new.
Precisely. That brings us to the second pillar, grow, daily personal development.
Grow. So this is about actively cultivating positive habits.
Yes. It's about really getting to know yourself
Mhm.
and establishing routines that support your inner well-being. Things like positive morning habits are key here.
And this ties into building real confidence, right? Not just bravado, but actual inner strength.
Absolutely. Through practices like meditation, routine, inner discipline. And he offers a really practical framework for this, which I think is quite helpful. He calls it the time model.
Time. Okay, what does that stand for?
So T is for thankfulness.
Gratitude practice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But making it deliberate, a daily practice to kind of rewire your focus towards abundance away from scarcity.
Okay. I.
I is for inspiration,
Mhm.
consciously choosing what you consume. Like monks study sacred texts, we can choose uplifting content instead of just mindless scrolling.
Makes sense.
M is for meditation. And he stresses even just 5 minutes is like building a muscle for your mind,
Mhm.
improving focus, finding calm. E is for exercise, acknowledging the mind-body connection, taking care of your physical self to support your mental clarity.
TIME. Thankfulness, inspiration, meditation, exercise. That actually sounds
Doable.
actionable.
It's designed to be.
But, the reality for many people is feeling like they just don't have time for more things, even good things. Does he address how to make this sustainable, not just another chore?
He does, yeah. A big part of it is starting small.
Yeah.
Micro habits, maybe just 1 minute of thankfulness, 5 minutes of meditation.
So consistency over intensity.
Exactly. Like building any muscle, you start small and you're consistent. You integrate it into your life, rather than trying to carve out huge chunks of time that just aren't realistic for most people.
Right.
And it ties back to this core idea he keeps emphasizing. You don't become happy by achieving, you become happy by growing.
That really reframes success, doesn't it? From external milestones to internal progress.
Completely. It shifts the entire focus.
But that's a huge shift. How do you maintain that mindset when, let's be honest, the world around us is constantly screaming about external achievement, promotions, money, status?
It's a definite challenge to our conditioning, no doubt. Shetty isn't saying achievement is bad, not at all.
Yeah.
But he's reordering the priorities.
Okay.
When your primary source of satisfaction comes from growth, from learning, then, well, failures become lessons, not catastrophes.
Right, just data points for more growth.
Exactly. And external successes, you can still celebrate them, enjoy them, but your fundamental sense of self-worth isn't tied to them.
Which leads to a kind of inner stability.
That's the goal. A deeper peace that isn't constantly rocked by external ups and downs. That's real freedom, especially in our very results-driven world.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've had LT go, then grow.
Right.
What's the third pillar?
The final pillar is give.
Give, living a life of service and love.
Yes. And this part really pushes back against our often quite individualistic focus.
It does seem to. Shifting from what can I get to what can I contribute?
Precisely. He argues that true, deep purpose really emerges when you make that shift, when your focus moves from constantly taking to actively giving.
So service, compassion, unconditional love, these are the path to peace.
According to this framework, yes. They're presented as the authentic route to lasting peace and fulfillment. It broadens your perspective beyond just yourself. The guiding idea is clear. The highest purpose is to live in service of others.
Living in service of others. It sounds noble, but it also raises a practical question for me. How do you do that without completely burning out? Especially when it can feel like the world takes more than it gives sometimes.
That's a really critical point, and he does address it. It's about distinguishing selfless service from self-sacrifice.
Okay, what's the difference there?
Selfless service comes from a place of inner abundance, feeling you have something to offer. It actually energizes you. Self-sacrifice, on the other hand, comes from obligation or depletion, and that leads to resentment and burnout.
So giving from a full cup, not an empty one.
Exactly. Yeah. He encourages finding your unique way to serve. It could be through your work, your family, volunteering, but it needs to align with your values and your capacity. It should feel authentic, not draining.
Okay. Let go, grow, give. So putting this all together, what does this mean for you listening right now? What's the potential impact of adopting this kind of monk mindset?
Well, connecting all these threads, what this deep dive suggests is a path towards some really profound changes.
Such as?
Things like really understanding your true identity beyond just your job title or social roles.
Getting free from that constant cycle of stress and comparison.
Yes, breaking free from that grip. Also establishing a more positive, intentional start to your day, which can set the tone for everything else.
Finding some actual peace by maybe detaching a bit from the endless noise like social media.
Exactly. Strategic detachment. And maybe the biggest one, discovering or clarifying your unique purpose in life.
Yeah.
Moving towards real fulfillment.
It really does sound like a practical roadmap, doesn't it? Especially for anyone feeling, a bit lost or just swamped by modern life.
I don't think so.
I mean, just thinking about getting caught up in the news cycle or work stress, having a framework like this feels like it could be a real anchor.
A way to navigate it differently.
So this whole deep dive into Think Like a Monk, It really distills some quite profound ideas, actually.
It does.
And it makes a compelling case that you don't need to escape the world, you just need to change how you relate to it internally.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening who feels that kind of restlessness or maybe just feels lost in all the noise, the source material really does recommend exploring these ideas further, revisiting them.
Yeah.
The insights from this way of thinking, the monk's perspective, are presented as a potentially huge strength for navigating our world today.
Definitely. And ultimately, what this whole deep dive seems to boil down to, echoing that final thought from the source, is outer silence is nothing until the inner voice is quiet.
That's a powerful closing thought.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? So maybe consider for yourself, how might cultivating just a little bit of that inner quiet, even for a few minutes each day, how might that change how you show up in this very noisy world?